Anyone, how's it going? Riser here. So, Genshin Impact got canceled. Well, people tried to cancel it. Let's get into it. We got a bunch of Twitter stuff because, of course, people tried to cancel it starting on Twitter. So, we have Boycott Genshin is trending. Oh shit, are we finally going to talk about the horrible gacha rates, resident and non-existent online security, and finally checks hashtag. Yeah, this is how I felt too once I heard about the news. This happened about 2 days ago on the 6th. And I'm like, what could you possibly cancel Genshin for? And hopefully, if people were actually out to cancel Genshin Impact, it would be for something meaningful like the gacha. But no, of course, it's over virtual signaling and stuff like that. Pretty pointless shit. So we have a lot of topics to go over, but basically, I guess we could sum up Genshin Impact canceling or MiHoYo do better as this. Now, I know it's a bit of an overstatement, but and I hate having to say this, but you know, I'm black. Seeing all of these people come out and try to defend black people feels a bit uncomfortable. I don't like it when other people like to talk for me at all, especially when they like to talk for my race. It's very, very infuriating, and I wish it would stop as soon as possible, but it never seems to stop. The worst thing is they talk about dark-skinned people being underrepresented when I, a dark-skinned Asian person, is represented through the game through likable characters. It's insane. I'm just gonna talk on this point. This person talks about how the areas are represented in both China and Germany, and how would you expect dark-skinned people, which I feel like the Germany one is kind of a weird point to say, because I'm pretty sure there's black people in Germany even in older times, and I'm sure there are black people in China, probably even far less than it would be in Germany, like to the highest degree. This one's kind of unrelated, but I feel like it's on task. MiHoYo needs to get rid of the fact that Hilichurls are enemies and inherently evil, just like you guys. Wait, you think I look like a Hilichurl? I always get this too. I feel like these people came from that extra credits thing where they were talking about how orcs are evil and that orcs are racist. I'm obviously not covering the whole thing of what extra credits said, but like how orcs are normally, they have green skin, they have dreads sometimes and stuff like that, and people are like, orcs are racist because, you know, they're like good old people right here. Jesus Christ, can I not stand that? Can you not think orcs are black, or any other kind of crazy evil enemy type is a black person? Maybe that would stop with the racism first if you stop correlating us with them. I feel like that would be a good thing to start with. Another person, so as a black person, literally shut up about the Kaeya and Xinyan thing. They are dark-skinned. Xinyan is dark-skinned Asian. She is not black, she is Asian. They call her scary not because of because of her clothing and not her skin. And then they go on for some time. Xinyan, if you know, I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, sorry if I mispronounce it, is the rocker character. I think I have a thing of her. Yeah, here she is right here. This is Xinyan. And she is looked differently at because she acts different from the other characters. A lot of the other characters are high class society, while she's this rocker character and she sticks out like a sore thumb, and people have a negative image of her because of that. Right here, her fierce appearance making her look like an incorrigible villain. I want to just point out something. I cannot stand, again, like, I'm black, and so when I hear these issues, they sometimes go on my ear, and I'm just like, what the hell are you thinking? Xinyan herself is Asian. She has an Asian name and everything. You know, we look at other characters like Amber. It's obvious she's most likely white or something like that. She's not Asian. Xinyan is most likely, I think there are certain areas of Cambodia and Taiwanese that have darker skin, but what really pops into my mind is Filipino. Like, look at this Filipino woman right here. She looks like the same shade of Xinyan, if anything. I have a few others. Like, look at them. She even has curly hair. You would mistake this for a black person if you weren't really thinking about it. Or even this person right here. We have so many examples of dark-skinned Asians that exist in real life. I grew up around some Filipino people, so I've seen people like this before. It's crazy to think that dark skin just means black, because it doesn't. To a lot of these people, it does. And just to go on the fact that they say that representation is very low when it comes to dark skinned characters. They want black characters in the game. Good luck. That's all I can really tell you. Good luck. But even then, if we're talking about representation, because people always say like black characters and stuff like aren't represented in anime and stuff like that. There are so many black creators out there who are creating black characters and black stories and stuff like that. I have one right here, which is called Noir Caesar. This is the staging site, of course. but all of their stories have black characters. Instead of shutting down and trying to yell at all of these other companies for not adding black characters, why not uplift all of these other stories that are using black characters? If these stories get uplifted and people started actually reading these things or promoting these things or buying into them, then they would be able to compete with things like MiHoYo and stuff like that, but that doesn't happen. Next up we have the Hilly Churls. We'll just move the subject along. Apparently there's a video from MiHoYo that shows the Hilly Churls in this old indigenous people dance, and the Hilly Churls were based off of that. Now in fiction, I believe if you do not base things off of reality, you have a lower quality product in general. This is how you end up with a bunch of isekai that have harems and stuff like that, when in reality relationships are very difficult. They're not perfect, and a guy just being able to get a bunch of girls makes actually little sense. And this is because people are writing off fiction from more fiction. So they're writing fiction from all the other fictions that they've taken in instead of real life. To me, it's like, well, if you're going to get mad at Hilly Churls, how are you not getting mad at any iteration of Legend of Zelda which use goblin-like creatures? Like, it makes very little sense. Why go after MiHoYo this strongly? I mean, it's over now. These people have made their fuss, and now they look like clowns. These small issues when bigger prevalent issues exist. The resin issue. It's been since day one. I've always been against the resin monetization, that it cost a good like hundreds of dollars just to get a character. By the way, I hit my pity. The video that's been playing in the background is my summoning video. I hit my pity and I didn't get the guaranteed character, by the way, so I have to go again for 90. I was just trying to get Rosaria. Spoiler, there you go. I didn't get Rosaria. I got a different 5-star. Unfreaking believable. I didn't want a 5-star. I wanted Rosaria. But anyway, you know, I don't see what's wrong with this. Alright, you base it off, like, I don't know, it makes no sense. It's a goddamn video game enemy. You fight them. I have no clue what BIPOC means. I'm out of the loop. BIPOC? I know POC means person of color, right? What does BIPOC mean? This was a good one. Are people just going to ignore the fact that the entire part of the Hilly Trolls where they are shown to be peaceful and on the outside of being manipulated by the Abyss Order? Yeah, isn't that one of like the plot points? Like the Abyss Order is controlling them. And this guy kind of says, again, guys, is Genshin the first game you play? Because I played God of War series, GTA, Assassin's Creed, and it talks about many of these issues of the world reference. But referencing something doesn't mean you're trying to disrespect it. Like this person here, I've played those games as well. It's not really offensive if they're trying to depict real world issues as it is. But as for Genshin, I initially didn't notice the way Hilly Troll movements are based on Native American culture. But seeing the clip above makes me feel uncomfortable. It's like, why? It's just a reference. That's it. And I think that's what bothers me. At the end of the day, it's just a reference. It's literally just a reference. So this is the MiHoYo video. Very nice Yae Sakura statue they got in here. And bikes, Evangelion bikes. This is pretty freaking cool, dude. This is a pretty nice office. So there's a Hilly Churl example of the thing moving around. That's really it. That's it. Everything else could have just been makeshift after that point. Like, I don't know if they would copy the dance one for one. I mean, cool if they did for reference, but I'm pretty sure they just used it as a reference and then built upon whatever they saw here. Then we're just gonna wrap up here. There's a few little other things here to talk about. We have this account which still has their freaking Genshin profile picture. MiHoYo better start giving us main story content and fix their security system. They also gotta fix the Sumeru NPCs and stop whitewashing them. I don't know how many Sumeru NPCs exist in Genshin right now. Like characters that have traveled to Liyue or Mondstadt. I can only assume it's minimal at best. Not everyone who lives in a certain area is the same skin color. So I would assume maybe some fairer versions of people from Sumeru would go around. I don't know. I don't think it matters since Sumeru isn't even an area yet. Now there's an NPC that talks about Flora. We're just gonna talk about that real quick. So apparently this is the original Flora in the beta. This is what she looked like, but people complained there weren't enough kid NPCs, so they changed Flora to a kid version. Now, I don't know the full details. If the character's dialogue about getting with Miss Flora, or Flora in general, is still there, they should have removed it, fair enough. I think that's a fair point to make. To say it is promoting pedophilia, I think is a stretch by all means. When it seems to be just a mistake, like they just left it in by accident, that really seems to be it. Or it might be even a mistranslation. But to tell you a game is pushing pedophilia or promoting it is the biggest stretch of all time. So, and this person continues, it'll be a while before they realize, blah blah blah, Genshin, they fail to notice their mistakes. It'll be a matter of time before we get tired of the game. And personally, now this is the most important part, because this is a weak argument this person is pretty much putting out here. They're getting bored of Genshin, which is why they're jumping on top of this. That's what at least I believe, and what it's coming off as. Things are getting quite boring, and the mistakes from MiHoYo in the game are starting to catch up to me. So they better start fixing their mistakes and giving more main story content. This is what it pretty much is. This person wants more story, and this is the easy way to start jumping on Genshin. It's so easy for people to grab the thinnest straw just to try to snap it. Especially when they stop enjoying something, or they're not enjoying it as much as someone else is. Speaking of enjoying stuff, Attack on Titan came out. That's gonna be an infamy. And then just to add, MiHoYo better drop the ages. We're getting issues with children in the game because some people just keep giving excuses just so they can loot them. Please drop the ages. I always feel weird about people saying I want to know the ages of characters. In general, I'd rather not know the ages. Senran Kagura did this for their English release. They're fictional characters. I don't care about them that much. And it seems weird and creepy just for me to... Like, I don't know why these people want to know their ages so badly. Like, is weird. I don't know. Like, obviously, Klee is a child, and Diona is a child, and Chi-Chi is a child. She's been alive for a long time, but she died as a child. Ningguang is obviously an older lady. Barbara is maybe late teens, maybe even early 20s. I haven't seen her drink in the game, so I don't know. But the Traveler drinks, or at least... even Paimon drinks, so they're at least over 21. Implied. I'm saying implied, but Paimon's age kind of doesn't matter. It's obvious she's abnormal by some degree. So people wrote up this email to MiHoYo. Good luck getting this read, because people who make these weird cancel things give up as fast as they start it. If you really didn't want to play Genshin anymore, you would have deleted the game by now and uninstalled it and never touched it again. But I guarantee you, most of these people who are crying and complaining about it, they're going to be back to the game in what? Maybe a week, if they really think they're going to make a difference. Maybe they should fight for something else, like gacha raids, characters costing $300, that kind of stuff. Maybe that we don't get a lot of wishes, or that the Primogen rewards are pretty scarce at best for like menial tasks, that you can't even build up a multi in a week. Stuff like that, right? Maybe things like that, because the gacha aspect is literally the most important part, I think, to gameplay. Because it determines what you'll be playing with, and I'll easily argue that, because then they wouldn't have made so much money. But I've left this letter on the screen. I think it's a generally bad letter. If you want someone to listen to you, especially a big company, I guess not big company, because MiHoYo in and of itself are a bunch of indie devs. Their status is pretty big with how much money they've made and how much people have downloaded Genshin and stuff like that. They're pretty big. So when you write a letter like this, if I was a CEO, not even a CEO, because he's not going to read this, most likely some sort of manager or maybe even an assistant will get this. And when you say blatant colorism, you've already lost the argument. They've crumpled up your letter, or I guess they've just pressed delete and thrown it in the trash. Now MiHoYo might listen to some regards, but what do you expect them to do? Make a black character right now? They've already got characters lined up. And even then, if they just make a black character, would that make it any better? Because you forced them to do it instead of them considering to do it. Indigenous people and their culture is not only harmful and disgusting. The thing is, indigenous people aren't playing Genshin. How are they going to get hurt from this? Like, let's just be real here. And who out there is going to go meet with indigenous people and show them Genshin Impact and say, oh, this is you? First of all, they won't understand your language. And I feel like I'm making the stupidest argument of all time, but here we are. The colorism and racism, look how many times colorism and racism show up in this thing. Let's just control F this right now, because look, racism shows up 3 times. creating a hostile environment for characters as well as PLC who play the game experiencing racism because of the designs you've created to continue to downgrade by making their skin tones lighter and presenting them as scary or exotic. These are all taken out of context. All taken out of context because of their features, which is explicitly stated in your own game. All of this is out of context. If no change comes, we will continue the boycott and you will continue to lose money. Well, boycott's over at this point. It ended yesterday, to be honest, because so many people were laughing at these fools for this whole thing. But me, a PLC, I don't like being called a PLC, by the way. Don't ever call me that. I have experienced zero racism from this game. It has made me recall zero racism that I have gone through in my life, and I have gone through real racism. A video game sure as hell isn't going to stop someone from being racist to me. You know, I've been called all types of stuff. I've been called a gur a few times before. As far as I know, Genshin has never gone to that length to make me even think that they think of me that way, or that their characters are portraying black people like that. You people need to get off your high horse and stop this stuff, because it's really lame. And yeah, I'm a bit upset because it's so stupid. I'm sorry this video has been so long, but I've already closed the tabs and I'm not going to redo this video. We have people exploiting the Boycott Genshin tag to pretty much post stuff like this and troll everyone. I want the Everly out of Moon. Or, I swear to God, these people have gotten quite a bit of attention. Mofo is really posting on a serious topic instead of saying something actually helpful. Just saying, no one has said anything helpful. This whole thing was a waste of time. I think Ganyu has awakened something inside of me too. Something I never knew I needed, but she is there for me when I need her. And then we can end on this. I think is a good message to anyone who actually still believes it, like Genshin is racist or is promoting pedophilia or anything like that. Good old Venti will read you the thing. Dear customer, please learn the difference between fantasy and reality. Yours faithfully, Mondstadt General Goods. That's a good lesson to leave off on. It's a pretty good one.